Hey there, sisterhood. April here, and I'm so excited to launch you into the universe of what's her superpower. Superpowers, sisterhood, secrets revealed. What's her superpower explodes onto the scene, alternating between real talk solo episodes and electrifying guest interviews. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Of course, we have an amazing guest with us today who is going to share so much knowledge and so much inspiration that you do not want to miss this. We've got the beautiful Miss Beth Sandlin with us. She is the founder of Trifecta Pilates. Hi, Beth.
Hi, April. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me on.
I am thrilled that you were able to join us from your very comfortable cold home in Denver. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Beth, and then we'll roll into your business.
Great. My name is Beth Sandlin, and I work with people who like to exercise to enhance their life rather than consume it. I've been teaching movement for over 20 years, and I'm a nationally certified Pilates teacher.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's, when I was in the military, I had to work out. Now that I get to work out, it is definitely a gift, especially as we get a little older, that mobility. And we were talking about traveling. I tell my husband, this is the time for us to travel because we can actually move around and do things when we travel. I see people in wheelchairs and I love that they're out there, but I don't want to do that, and it's so important that we keep in movement. So we've had this discussion, but I want you to share with everybody, how did Trifecta Pilates come to be?
Came to be because I was working at a university, 40 hours a week, an hour commute each way. And it just wasn't sustainable for me. It wasn't lighting me up like it did when I first started working there. And so I really thought, okay, I want to open up a Pilates studio. That way I can move in a Pilates studio again. And it was after I was coming home from a long commute one evening and our train was running late, our light rail here in Denver. The mom comes running past me, carrying one child, holding the hand of another one. It was just this big awakening that even if I open up a Pilates studio in my local community, she would never attend. And then I thought about it for a moment longer and I thought, me working 40 hours a week, I would never attend. I have to quit my job in order to go to a Pilates studio. And it's not that workouts are important to me. They really are. I was just fitting them in to what I was currently doing. And that was primarily out of my house. So I created Trifecta Pilates to bring Pilates from my home to people's homes, because it really is the most convenient way to move with Pilates.
Yeah, definitely. I know I live out in the country. The closest town is 13 miles away and they don't have anything there. So I'd have to go another 25 miles to get to a bigger town that I'm not even sure if they have any Pilates. It's yoga, I know. But So why Pilates?
Well, I've been moving with Pilates since college. And what I realized is that it felt similar to the workouts I had done in the gym, but there was something a little bit more intriguing about it, humbling at times, challenging, sometimes restorative. And so in college, someone encouraged me to enroll in a teacher training program, and it just simply stuck. I had no intention when I started college or even enrolled in the Pilates class that I was going to be a Pilates teacher. I just knew I really liked moving with it, and I kept enjoying it even after like a year and a half. And we know it's really common for people to ebb and flow with workouts. Motivation is really high and then sometimes life gets in the way, and just didn't quite feel that same low dip that I did with other forms of workouts. And now what's so beautiful is we can think of Pilates just as one type of workout, just like there's several types of cars. They get us from point A to point B, and Pilates fits mobility, strength, flexibility, balance. So it hits 4 out of the 5 elements when it comes to physical fitness. And that's why I really like it, because it offers a well-rounded workout.
Yeah, and it's low impact, isn't it?
It definitely is low impact, which is really nice. Can be done with no equipment. We can incorporate small pieces of equipment that we have in the house, or for, a nominal fee as well.
Yeah, and I love that because, we see, like, I've seen the Pilates, I don't know, it's like a board with the pulling things, and I'm like, I don't know. And I have tried Pilates. It is definitely, for those of you who have not tried Pilates, it's definitely a challenge. So it's not just a stretching, anything like that. It's using body weight. If I'm wrong, just please tell me. But it's not like you're not going to the gym with all the big muscle guys and you're feeling intimidated. You can do it in the privacy of your home. Love that. Like you said, you don't necessarily need equipment, and it is going to give you a workout. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you try this and just see if it's something. If you've been looking for something different, Pilates could be the answer.
Definitely. And especially when we move and work out of our home, what's so nice is if you have a full hour, amazing. But I know for a lot of people who work with me, they don't always have that full hour to work out. So it could be 10 minutes in the morning and maybe 10 minutes in the afternoon. And that adds up to movement for our day. So it really is nice that it can not only be maybe a beginner level workout with no equipment to something a little bit more challenging, but the length of time can vary. And rather than focusing on, we can't do that full length workout, it's what can you do? Even a short workout is so beneficial for the body and mind.
Yeah. Now, how do they consume your workouts? Is it on demand? Do you do them live at certain times? How does that work?
So there's a few different ways that people work with me. Most people start with me on YouTube. They can find me at Trifecta Pilates. And from there, for people who want more of a well-rounded workout program, like easy to follow calendars, more classes as well, and the opportunity to move with me live, there's the membership and app option. So there's those two primary ways people can try moving with my classes.
Nice. An app. I'm so impressed. That's big time.
Yeah, it really is, because, when we think about technology and how it's advanced, there's still people who, you mentioned that you live more in the country, and maybe sometimes reception isn't as good there. And so the app just allows people to download the classes, which is really nice, whether it's where they live or they're going on vacation and they still want to move with Pilates. They don't need to worry about their reception when they download the classes.
Yeah. Now, what's some of the things, since you were in the, would you call it corporate world?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you've transitioned from the corporate world to an entrepreneur now. When did you start your business?
Well, I'm going to go back just a little bit further, if that's okay.
Okay.
And when I first started Pilates for about 7 years, I was an employee/independent contractor. Then I made that transition, had like that 7-year itch, and transferred to a full-time job, utilizing my health education background, and also was teaching Pilates at the time as well. So it was an interesting blended role, which was really exciting. And I started the entrepreneurship journey. Well, I kept getting people asking me, can you please post classes on YouTube? Please, I can't find anything. And I thought, I'm just going to give them a recommendation of where to go for Pilates classes on YouTube. And they go, and there's just nothing that really represented that studio experience or the classes that I knew were taught by qualified teachers. It was all like slim waist workouts or sculpting the arms. I'm like, that's not really like my jam. That's not what we actually do in Pilates. And what was interesting when I compared that to yoga, like, I really felt like I could find yoga classes on YouTube that felt like I was in a yoga studio. It wasn't just for the sculpting perspective. So I kind of hemmed and hawed, and eventually it was, I believe around 2016, I posted my first video to YouTube. just because of an ask from people. And then I put a goal like 2 years later or so. Okay, in 2 years' time, I am feeling like I need to make that transition out of my full-time position into full-time entrepreneurship, because I was burning the candle at both ends, working the 40 hours a week. Sometimes I'd be up to like 3 o'clock in the morning editing and, trying to get emails out and posting. And it just was not a sustainable way for me to live my life. So I gave myself that 2-year transition mark to really step fully into entrepreneurship. And it was actually, the timing was right the summer of COVID. So 2020, I believe, that I quit my full-time job and went full-time then into entrepreneurship.
Well, and actually, that was good timing for you, because a lot of people that went into entrepreneurship right before COVID, it didn't work out so well for them. But for you, being virtual, that had to be fantastic and just a blessing to so many people who couldn't get to the gym and were surrounded by family. Love them. But they just needed a break and they needed some self-care.
100%. And I think what it really did for people is, for those people who had never really tried working out at home consistently, is it showed them you can get just as many benefits from working out at home. And for many of the people who I work with now, they started in a Pilates studio, found me during that COVID time, and said I would never go back full time to a studio, just because this is so much more convenient. It's not when, the gym or Pilates studios open. It's when it works right for me. And if I don't feel like doing that hour-long class, I can shorten it up. So that is really amazing that it was this kind of key to unlock the power of home workouts. And another element that it really unlocked for people is the power of Pilates besides just a good workout. Like you mentioned, we're surrounded by our families and it's a lot of together time, that for a lot of people, they were coming to the Pilates mat, not necessarily always for a good workout, but because they felt like calmer after a workout. It was time just for them on the Pilates mat. And sometimes that means that their workout isn't going to be incredibly challenging. They lean maybe more towards a restorative class when they're feeling they just need that type of support.
Yeah, because exercise is such a gift that we give to ourselves. Like I said, for 20 years, I had to do it, but I actually found things that, like, I love to run. And that was a lot of people run with music. I'm not that person. I want peace and quiet when I run, because sometimes that was the only quiet I had in my day. So it was such a gift to be able to go out and just hear my breath and hear the sounds around me. And, it's such a gift that, we give to ourselves. And if people are out there and they're like, oh, I can't imagine that being, fun, or, try it. I just find something, like you said, Pilates spoke to you. And it was something that, because like I lift now, I do that for a little while, I get bored. Then I do some aerobics and I get bored. And I have to keep variety, because I haven't found my Pilates. And maybe I'll look you up on YouTube. That's I'm willing to try.
Definitely look me up on YouTube, because as you were saying, sometimes you get bored and then we try something else. And that adaptability is the number one way to stay consistent with workouts, and something that I really focus on. So if you go to my YouTube channel, and even more within the membership and app, it's not just a really challenging workout, and it's not just a really soothing stretching class. There is a lot of variety. Number one, because for a well-rounded workout program, we want that variety, that challenging class that's with body weights or resistance band or weights. That's great for strengthening work. That's not going to really help with stretching and mobility. So then we counter that with other types of movements. And like you said, sometimes we just need to mix it up a little bit, whether because we've been so consistent with our workouts and we need something a little bit different, or simply our energy is in a different place because of work, family, other things going on in our community. And so we need a different type of class to support our mental or emotional health and well-being.
Yeah, definitely. Now, let's talk about some of the personal journeys that you've been on, if you're okay with that, because I know you
Yep.
opened up to me about some of the challenges that you've had. Do you want to share that with our audience?
Sure. So I'll go all the way back to adolescence just for a brief snippet, because I did not always enjoy working out. I mean, I dreaded PE class in middle school. I just felt like I wasn't good at anything, so I simply didn't try. And that narrative stayed with me for an incredibly long time until I realized I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs without getting winded. And since I wanted to try hiking, I knew that I needed to be in better physical conditioning, not for any physique, but because I wanted to try something that required some level of physical endurance. So that was my very first starting point with working out. And I had support from my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband. And I was doing that for about a year and a half. And then I was diagnosed with leukemia. And the leukemia I had was a very fast progressing leukemia. In like less than 2 weeks, I went from having no symptoms whatsoever to being diagnosed with leukemia. So it was acute myeloid leukemia. And that was a big pause, somewhat more of a stop sign on my life, where I had to drop out of college for a semester because I required inpatient treatment at the time. I was 20, so relatively young. My family, when I was going through my first treatment, they said, out of everyone in the family, I don't understand how you got this, because you are the healthiest. Like, you're eating healthier than we are, you're working out. And the thing with our lifestyle habits is they can't always predict what's going to happen. There's obviously a genetic influence and impact, why I got that. But this is what I know, is that workouts helped me be stronger to face all the challenges that I had for about my 3 months of inpatient treatment. And then after that point in time, I went back to the gym, and you would think, like losing my hair and going through cancer treatment and losing over 25 pounds in less than a month, which is not a good way to lose weight. I had I don't have the physical endurance I used to have, but it was once I went back and tried to work out, went down to do a push-up, and I just stayed down, had no strength whatsoever to come back up. And I had to start from that ground zero again and slowly build back up. And then about a year later is when I found Pilates, and it really did help me just accelerate a little bit more, because we work with a bigger range of motion. And because I was in the hospital and kind of just stayed in bed all day from fatigue and other things that were going on, it was really, really beneficial. So that's really my motivation why I continue to work out, is because I want to continue feeling good in my body and have the energy for just daily life, whether it's hiking or sometimes just cleaning the house.
Some days cleaning the house is a workout. So yeah. And half of it's just the motivation. It's like, I can do it. It's funny how we do harder things, but there's certain things it's like, oh, I got to clean the house. So yeah, that is an incredible story. And you hit on that, where because you were working out already and you had started that process of taking care of yourself, it gave you that advantage to go in to fight for your life. I mean, people don't realize,
100%.
Yeah, people just don't realize that when our body is not, when we're not in shape and we get ill, our body is fighting, to get better. And depending on what kind of shape we're in, that could be good or that could be bad. And we saw a lot of that during COVID, unfortunately.
We really did. And I'll share another story of a friend. And this was about 15 years ago by now, but he hadn't been working out. A young dad working full time, and he decided, I want to start working out. So he started working out with the personal trainer. And about 2 months into his workout journey, he actually had a heart attack while he was working out. And some people would say, well, he was working out and that caused the heart attack. Well, the doctor gave him a different perspective. If you hadn't been working out, that heart attack still would have happened, but your likelihood of survival would have been way decreased. Like you working out for those past 2 months literally saved your life. And he was so thankful that he started where he was, because it's really common for us sometimes to start working out and then it falls off, we're busy, but it's just a matter of let's start up again and find our reason why we want to move with Pilates or other forms of workouts.
Yeah. And it is so important, especially, we're at the beginning of the year. A lot of people made resolutions and some people have stuck to it. I had another guest and she was like, my husband and I went to the gym and we were like, it was so packed. She said, these people will be gone in a month. It's okay. We'll get through it at this point. But find something. I highly encourage people out there, find something that speaks to you and, try Pilates, see if that is, I love the variety that you talked about because like I said, I get bored. So, all right. So what is in store for your business, for you and your business in 2024?
In 2024, it's kind of like keep focusing on the three main elements of the business to really reach more people, because it's always been my mission is to bring Pilates to more people and offer a support system as well through movement or education. So it's connecting with more people who move with me on YouTube or within the membership and app. I also have a Pilates mat teacher training program. So this is for people who have already been moving with Pilates and they know that they want to start a career path teaching mat Pilates in some way. I have the next cohort beginning in early March, and we'll be enrolling people in that pretty soon. So it's always exciting to welcome new people to that. And I also have a trauma-informed Pilates approach course for current Pilates teachers to support where they are in their Pilates path. And so just looking forward to continuing the work that we've been doing for the past few years now.
Yeah, so good. So not only do you teach it, you teach people to teach it. You teach the teachers. So that way you're continuing the cycle.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. There's two questions that I ask everybody. Now, as a woman, what do you feel like your superpower is that you're bringing to your business and, just to your business?
To the business, it's focusing on listening to our inner wisdom, which is for women in particular, we innately have, but since I feel like we've been born in essence, been conditioned to try to ignore. And so trying to tune back into that and supporting people on their journey as well. So not only from my business perspective, listening to that inner wisdom and what I need, what the business needs, but encouraging other people to do that as well.
Yeah. They talk about women whether it's a sixth sense, it's the universe, it's God, whatever it is. I'm the same way. I definitely believe that we have something. And when we don't trust our gut, that's what we've heard our whole life, trust your gut. Well, then people are like, oh, you're just being silly. Oh, listen to your gut, ladies. It will not lead you wrong. If something feels wrong, something's wrong. So the last question is, what is your word for 2024?
Oh, simplicity. I can make things so complex. It is simple. Keep it simple, simplicity. And I was just on a workshop the other day and I asked a question. She paused for a moment and said, just keep it simple. Yes, that's a reminder I needed. I just have to keep reminding myself of that this year, not to overcomplicate things.
I love that. That is so good. Yeah, but not that we ever get in our own way, but Well, Beth, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story and your passion for Pilates with us. And we're going to have Beth's contact information down in the description. So make sure that you reach out to her, find her on YouTube, check out her membership and her app because she's fancy like that.
Thanks so much for having me on, and I wish you all an amazing and beautiful day, and hope that you can join me on the mat for a workout soon.
All right. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Forget unicorns. Unlock your true potential with actionable tips, inspiring stories, and a whole lot of laughs. Join the mission. Subscribe now. Find your own What's Her Superpower. Join the mission.